Have you ever been targeted by the enemy team so hard that you blow up damn near instantly, no matter what your team does to try to save you? Which a lot of the time you blew up because your team didn't help you. That is the life of a tank main in FPS games, specifically Marvel Rivals and Overwatch. I kid you not. Playing tank is so infuriating in those two games. It's not even funny, right? I just wanted to do a little rant today about how does it feel to tank in like hero shooters, and how Marvel Rivals and Overwatch damn near have like the same issues with the tank roles. Obviously, they both have their like unique differences. Who why playing tank sucks half the time, and their differences on why you'd love to play tank in one game more than the other. But you know, a pattern with these hero shooters so far that I've seen with the two that I play is that playing tank is damn near unenjoyable unless you really, really like to play the tank role. And unfortunately, yet fortunately, I really do love the tank role and I like to play tank in both games. Um, if you like my rants or if you want to, hear more rants, like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach my goal of 500, so I really hope y'all could like help me out with that one. Now let's get to the meat and potatoes. I kid you not. I have a love hate relationship with the tank role, but at the same time, if I see that that it's not worth the anger, sometimes I just stop getting mad and I just start playing the game. Like I just start like I turn my brain off sometimes, and it's weird. But like sometimes it's kind of how it gets when I play tank, or not even get when I play tank. When I play, if I know the game's losable, I start like turning my brain off. But like half the time, sometimes I'll turn my brain off and like I'll just automatically lock in, and we end up winning eventually. Sometimes it's just a losable game from the beginning. I don't understand how both Marvel Rivals and Overwatch can lose from the pick your character screen, but that's another rant for another day. But back to you know my controlled thoughts. We'll start with playing tank in Overwatch. Um, Even with all the new changes, all the new additions, tank remotely has stayed the same in why I initially stopped playing the game, and it was you just focus the tank, and they die, and then after you destroy the tank as a team, you then just go on to the rest of the team and you kind of win the team fight unless your teammates are like cracked out of their mind, right? And like I came back, like, I'm past the honeymoon phase of coming back to Overwatch. At this point, it started pissing me off that I started getting focused down by five, all five of the teammates. And then they go for the enemy team. Like, for example, I came back, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have fun playing some of my ranked placements. I finished my ranked placements. I got to gold, cool beans. I kid you not, my first game out of placements, I ran into a Zenyatta constantly Discord orbing me the entire game, and then I had a Sombra up my ass hacking me the entire game. It got to the point where I just started banning Sombra solely because nobody was helping me, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it about Overwatch. Like, I just don't get it. Like, how can they fix the tank role without making them like the most broken characters in the game and making them like balanced? Because it doesn't make any sense. If people strategy is to just bully the tank and then get the rest of the team, something needs to be changed. I don't I don't care. Like something does need to be changed if that is a legitimate strategy you can do all the way until you get to like masters, right? And I kid you not, I'm in gold. Literally, I don't understand. My team doesn't do it, but their team does it in a heartbeat, right? It's so weird because then at some point I started telling my team, focus the tank, we win the fight. Focus the tank, we win the fight. They don't do it, and the enemy team's tank just runs me down with his team all the time. And that's kind of the difference. Like I kind of like that rivals don't have that same issue But Rivals has their own tank issue. One, nobody wants to play tank, right? But the dedicated people. Uh, Two, everybody wants a goddamn shield tank 99% of the time. Like, Mag and Strange are not the end all be all. I mean, Strange is really good this season, but like they're not the end all be all. Like, they've been giving us a lot of off tanks for a reason, and I'm going to agree with my Lord and Savior Flats. Emma really did get like gutted. Like, she's not as powerful as she used to be. She really is overrated at this point. And like I'm saying that as somebody who like been like Emma fan since forever, since she came out in Marvel Rivals, and like I've noticed the power decrease. It really is apparent if you play her. It really is apparent. Um, but now since we're walking in the Rivals, we might as well talk about Rivals. Um, Tanking in Rivals is a lot different. It's not necessarily they focus the tank and they die. There's too much sustain in the game for that to really be a thing. However, in Rivals, it's more tanks can provide more impact than other tanks, which is fine. It's a hero shooter. Characters are going to provide more value than other characters. But then it gets to the point where CC becomes an issue because unlike Overwatch, which I will say again, Overwatch also has a CC issue with their tanks. But in Rivals, that CC issue is like amplified to 5,000. You can be a tank and get infinitely CC'd for hours. And that's an exaggeration, but like you know what I mean when I say hours, right? That's why people like are skeptical to play Hulk because like, after he drops his bubble, you just CC'd him to death, which is why they made his ult C, which is why they gave him like some CC immunity during his ult, because it was really that crazy. But other than that, it really is a like if your team doesn't at least have a strategy or idea in mind, you're gonna lose the game, right? Um, all the tanks can do, to be honest, tanks, most of them, we're just facilitators. Like, we help the DPS do all the work, right? We make their job easier, and then vice versa. They make our job easier because if they can't get that kill, then it's our job to then get the kill if we can reach it, right? If like a DPS leaves somebody on like really low and they can't hit their shot, a tank could just come in and swoop and take the kill for them just to help the team. But yeah, you start running into issues where like that stuff isn't happening, and like then now as a tank player, you have to play out of your mind in order to even have an idea to win that game. And guess what? Not everybody can do that. Like, I'm not saying I'm like the best tank player ever, but like I'm pretty decent, especially when I lock in. But like at the end of the day, like you know, rank you can take rank seriously, but if you take it too seriously, you're gonna burn yourself out. And like then like the constant like blaming the blame game from these people in Rivals is kind of insane. Like I haven't really had that issue in Overwatch recently. Like I haven't had anybody go on mic and say anything other than like once, and it was stupid. But end of the day, like in Rivals, like they'll say bad tank, and you'll have like the best stat line of the team, or you'll lose a game going insane because the rest of your team just wasn't on the same par, and you have to try and carry the game as a tank. Which sometimes that works. If you're playing one of the off tanks, okay, you can actually make that work. Like, it's not really hard to make that work as you one of the off tanks. But if you main like Strange, well, no, I'm not saying Strange can't do it. He can, but like